What's up, everybody? Celtic Scarecrow back with another video to get those 10s and 20 views. We are here at the football stadium located within the Haunted Forest because the bad man, the evil one, the notorious, in the actual definition of the word, Dan Snyder is no longer the owner of the Washington Commanders. Now, the new owner is led by, I had his name and I forgot it already. Josh Harris is now the new owner. Part of that group that owns it now is Magic Johnson. So that's actually really cool. Magic Johnson should be able to let them know, kind of like, hey, here's kind of a thought process of a pro athlete, being the fact that I was one. But yes, new owners, which means there's hope. People are tweeting about it. I'm not going to load any of those up. Feel free to look at myself. It's all celebration. But now, where do we go from here? Well, first, I hope this is the first thing Josh Harris does.
Sheriff,
Watkins?
well, you won the election. Congratulations. But we do have a tradition of professional courtesy up here, and I can personally vouch for each and every one of these men. They're good deputies.
You're all fired.
Yeah, that's right. Just fire everyone in the office side of things. You leave the GM, leave the coaches, and the medical staff. Because football season is literally right around the corner, so you kind of need these people. Uh, first thing I would do after the mass firing is reach out to the DC United MLS team and be like, hey, yo, after this season, can we play at your stadium for the next couple of years? Because FedEx Field is not good at all. Like, as I try to pull back up all the problems that they kind of had. The field is terrible. It's falling apart. Players hate it, and apparently are getting injured left and right, and that's just bad. Apparently, during a game, a sewage pipe broke and sprayed all over the fans. Here's a photo of fans breaking through the guardrail, just leaning over, trying to get a high five with Jalen Hurts. I may hate the Eagles and everything about them. I don't want players to get hurt. Stomach flus, they miss a game, but actual injuries that could affect their lives, no. But yeah, the whole stadium is falling apart, and they need to build a new one. I am a big fan of building on the land that you already kind of have there, so blow it up, tear it down, build a new stadium. I will get to the idea I have for the stadium in a few seconds. But the other big ideas that I have for this team, I would announce on Christmas Day. Now, it's kind of like a giant Christmas present to this fan base that has been loyal through a bunch of bad years with Dan Snyder. Like I said in a video I did August 9th of last year, I would completely rebrand it. New name, new colors. For the love of God, new mascot. That video I said DC Knights, but then after I looked into a few things, you have Washington Capitals, Washington Nationals, Washington Wizards, and the Washington Spirit. And then you got DC United. But so 4 out of 6 teams all have, actually 5 out of 6 teams all have Washington as a location, and I like unity and like things blending. So instead of DC Knights, I say the Washington Knights. Why Knights? Well, they are really cool. A, you can have a bunch of cool looking mascots. I'll get to why he's blue in a second. B, your stadium. You can build it to look like a giant medieval castle. You want your teams to be cool. Men don't grow up, we just get cooler toys. You have a giant NFL stadium that looks like a medieval castle. Everyone would be like, yeah, the Panthers are playing Washington. Yeah, I'm going down there. Why? Because I can watch a football game in a medieval castle. It's freaking cool as hell. Now, as I get back to say why that night was blue, like I said with the name Washington, I like things meshing, blending, cohesion. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, and I'm not looking it up. But you look at the Spirit, which should be here, the Nationals, the Wizards, the Capitals, and then look at the Commanders. One of these things is not like the other, and that is the color scheme of the teams. And we do need to fix DC United, but that's a different video. They're not important. That's right, I said it. But yeah, one of the coolest things about, say, Pittsburgh sports teams is you wear black and yellow. You can go to any game, and everyone's like, "Oh, cool! You're rooting for the home team. All right, high five." I say keep the burgundy. That's cool. Make that your main color. Keep that your main color. Not changing that. I would ditch the yellow for a nice dark blue like the other teams. Make it just so you can take a sports weekend in mid to late October, going to a Nationals playoff game, for that would be the main thing, and then going, hey, we can catch a Wizards game, Capitals game, and a Knights game, and maybe a national game. You can hit 4 sports teams in one weekend, and you don't need to worry about, like, hey, what color is the jersey tonight? Like you do in places like Boston. That's right, I took a shot at Boston. Celtics green and white. Bruins brown, black, and yellow. Patriots dark blue, gray, and red. I feel like I'm missing a team there. 4 major sports. Baseball, red and white. That was the last one. But yeah, just make it a one color scheme for the city. Make DC United also change, and make it a red, a red, a blue, and white. You know, is our nation's capital. These colors should be your standard. And the burgundy red colors is red enough that people like it. Like, next up, your mascot. You could have, with a knight as a mascot, you saw the Bud Knight commercials. They were highly successful. There's so many things you can do. You can kind of do something similar to what Florida State does, where the guy rides out to the field, he holds up his sword, has a shield with the team logo on it, and gets the crowd riled up. He destroys piñatas with his sword of opponent team's mascots. People would actually want to take photos with him, unlike Major Tuddy, who reminds me of a Power Range villain. And actually, that's how I would introduce the new color scheme, mascot, and team name, by having him slay Major Tuddy, the pig. I get it, there's something historical with the pigs and the Washington football team history. No one wants to be called a pig. And if you go with something like something pig related, there's someone to be offended, especially if there is a day and time where a female football player makes it to the NFL. Not saying it can't happen. You get a good kicker who actually knows how to kick the ball, unlike the chick from Vanderbilt. It's very plausible. So there could be like a weight joke thing. I'm not a big fan of like the color in the names. The only one that gets away with it is Detroit Red Wings. That I'm not a fan of like the Golden Knights. I don't like the Red Wolves or the Red Hawks. I know the Red Tails is a historical reference, but that's more of a Alabama, like Tuskegee Airmen. I'm not think that really has much to do with Washington D.C. Yes, I know Knights don't have anything to do with Washington either, but you have the Wizards. So you're out of the four major sports teams: baseball, football, basketball, and hockey. You would have two teams representing the nation's capital and the government, and two teams that have a medieval theme to it. I don't know. This is literally just my opinion, but the things that do need to be changed, regardless of, they need a better stadium. They need a better name. No one wants to be known as the Commander, especially since your name gets shortened to Commies. And last thing we want is commies in Washington. Even though we probably have commies in Washington, but trying not to get political. But yeah, you want your team to be cool. You want to be relevant. You also got to worry about not offending people. And when you're trying to be like a football team that are like modern day gladiators and warriors that wear armor, why not take the symbol of the warrior that wore the most armor? And you can do a bunch of cool color variants like I've shown with the red and blue, and you can actually do it on like a couple occasions where there have been female warriors. This is just stuff I put into a free image generator that would look cool. Also, if your team's a knight and you have a giant medieval castle stadium, you can have your workers, staff, kind of like a giant Renaissance fair, which sounds weird and cool at the same time. But that's just one idiot's opinion on the internet. Tell me, what do you think of my suggestions? We know the stadium has to be fixed, and please do that, because I don't need Bryce Young getting hurt because of a crappy field. I don't need to get hurt whenever I go to Washington to watch the Panthers play, because that is a goal, to watch my favorite sports teams in every North American stadium that they can play in. That's the Penguins, the Panthers, and the Mariners. I want to hit those three sports, and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, but that one's a lot different. I just want to go back to Notre Dame and hit a couple big one. Tell me, what do you think of my suggestion? My idiot. Do I have no idea what I'm talking about? Yes, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. Until then, I'll see you weird people later.